following is a presentation of the Michigan Sports Network.
Rise and shine, folks. Good Thirsty Thursday to you. Happy Tax Day here in the United States of America. This is the 15th day of April, 2021. We welcome you here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Danny Cahalan and Ryan Elke in the Motor City studio. Anthony Bellino coming from the Radio Bunker. Great to have you right along with us, no matter who you are, where you are, or how you may be listening from Traverse City down to Toledo, Grand Rapids, across to Detroit. Thank you for making us a part of your day. Every weekday morning, text the keyword Sports Radio to 21,000, Sports Radio to 21000. Myers Supercenter guest line 313-396-5527, 313-396-5527. We're on Twitter at XB Mornings, Facebook, X's and Bros. And, of course, good morning to our television audience as well on both Comcast Channel 900 and on BCSN. Find our podcast, listen back to anything you may have missed on demand by visiting our SoundCloud, Google, Apple, Spotify, and, of course, iHeartRadio app pages. And you can listen online all the time at MichiganSportsNetwork.com, MichiganSportsNetwork.com. Dan, Ryan, good morning to both of you. Happy Thursday. Happy Tax Day. You guys nervous? You get everything done?
Uh-oh. It's till May 17th. It got extended.
Also, my taxes have been done for 2 months. Return already in. I'm one of those people because
Dan just dropped a Woj bomb on me right now.
Woj bomb,
fall
come on,
out of my chair.
When you said it, I looked at Dan. I go, I'm pretty sure it's a month from now because it got extended.
I had no idea they extended it again this year.
Yeah, May 17th.
I'm over here scrambling yesterday. Oh my God, I can breathe. Woo!
Yeah, no, I'm the person waiting on January 31st, February 1st for my returns because I have nice little dependents at home, so tax day is not a stressor for me like for you two.
Imagine if you had to wait on your 1099s and W-2s. They just don't all come in on time. They just all come in at random times.
They all have to be out by January 31st. So
I'm real interested in that because there was some funny business going on there. But regardless, this is great. I had no idea. I just assumed it was the 15th. I want to still. I'm still.
Do you want us to set a reminder in our calendars for you? For like 28 days from now, so we can give you like 2 days.
No, I'm going to take care of it today anyways.
Okay.
Yeah. I was just trying to get everything.
Were you sweating out like, oh, I got an appointment in with the accountant. I'm so lucky. It's like, no, we're pretty clean today. We're pretty open.
Bro, I was pitting out yesterday over here sweating like, I'm missing something. Why can't I find this piece of mail?
Yeah, I found all my stuff last week. And yeah, it took me a minute, but I found all. Yes, I did. I was happy. I was like, oh, I actually put all this stuff in the correct spot. Good job.
Well, good job. And my accountant usually mails me like a folder, like a workbook basically that comes in. So everything that comes in, I put it into that like manila envelope it's originally mailed in to help keep track of everything because I realized that that's the best way to do it. And then to sit down and attack it all. In one day and try to just knock it all out. But they're, oh my goodness. It's a lot. It ain't easy. And it's probably one of those things that we should be addressing with our young people in this country throughout their high school tenure.
Of how to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how to, like, really, what really understanding. Like, okay, you take accounting, right? You can take accounting in your high school. I remember my accounting class that was, debits and credits. It wasn't anything real world related, unfortunately. And it was, I don't know. I feel like we do our young people a disservice by not,
Anthony, we have to learn about the Mayans for 12 years. Okay. We can't deal with real world stuff. Okay.
Important to know that there were the Mayans here that didn't speak Spanish and occupying a large portion of Central and South America.
Listen,
along
I have
with
to
the
be able
Incas
to
and the
name
Aztecs.
all the countries in Europe and where they're located.
Also, important for when you turn on the news as an adult, and they say like Czechoslovakia is splitting between two. They're going to make two different countries out of it. Like, oh, I know where that's at. Like, those are things you should kind of have some awareness of. If you have to know all the countries in Europe. You should probably have to know all of the countries in Africa, and maybe the same for Asia and the Middle East and Central.
Nope, just Europe.
Just Europe, though. That's a very, very interesting highlight right there. We only have to know the countries in Europe. Like, there's a lot of other countries out there, but we should be doing our young people a service by preparing them for the real world. And tax day, taxes, home economics, and not like Suzy Q. What's the little easy oven? The little oven they used to sell.
Easy Bake Oven?
Easy Bake, yeah. I don't know why I thought it was Suzy Q's Easy Bake Oven, but whatever the hell. Like, no, not like home economics. Yeah, sure. Do we need to teach? We should probably be teaching young people like nutritional facts, how to cook, what to cook, things like that. Sure, we could have a class like that, but we need to teach them the actual economics and finances of running a home. Like,
I remember that project in middle school.
We should be running a school system that is preparing young people. But that's neither here nor there. I'm way off track already. It's only 6:07. How does this happen? Because it's tax day.
Because you didn't do your taxes yet, and you thought you were in for a real world of hurt today.
Oh, baby. But I'm you got to shuck and jive, right? I'm shaking and baking over here. It's bobbing and
Give
weave.
a little hezzy hey.
Hey, ooh. Oh man, a rough night last night for the Detroit Pistons. And then I watched some guy's recap video who's allegedly a Clippers fan. He's like, yeah, I had to do this video for my buddy Nick, and I don't do videos after Clippers wins, but how great is Reggie Jackson? I'm like, okay, all right, I'm going to sit here and watch this because I want to shove a fork in my eye after watching what took place as the Pistons were up 98-93 with 46 seconds left to play in the game and squandered the lead. A terrible turnover by Sadiq on the inbound. It's
Why are you mad?
We're so young. No. It's supposed to happen.
This is what we do. I will take a 2-point loss every single game the rest of the way. Let's do it.
I know, but the fact that Luke Kennard and Reggie Jackson had to combine like 30 was really bothering me. And
30? Reggie had 29 by himself.
Right. It was like early in the third quarter.
Yeah, say Kennard at 17. So
and at that point, Reggie had 13, and I was looking at it, and I was going through it, and I'm like, why is Reggie Jackson scoring so much? Like, it's okay. It's still the third quarter. Like, because I was on the team, Pistons were playing very well and then squandered that, and it's like, ugh. And I just got done watching the Detroit Tigers get their brooms out against the Houston Astros, wanted to make us sweat a little bit later. That's okay. We'll get into that Tigers game. More coming up on that Pistons game as well. Plus, you got to feel great about what the Tigers did this week. And not the Houston Astros A1 lineup, but still, you got to... You take it for what it's worth?
You know what Jim Leland said?
What's Jim Leland say?
It's not who you play, it's when you play them.
I like that. I like that a lot. Well, I mean, the Pistons lost by 2 to the Clippers that didn't have Paul George or Kawhi Leonard. So it's tough for me to take that loss, and that's one of those games. It's like, Sadiq, you can't turn the ball over late. But at the same time, like, I'm not overly disappointed because, as you mentioned, we're supposed to lose games. So, if Sadiq Bey throws that ball and it gets tipped on his inbound pass and stolen away by the Clippers, sure, that's fine. I want to get into Mark Cuban agreeing with Luka Doncic, not happy about the play-in playoff model for this season. They picked up where the bubble left off with the play-in model for the 9 and 10 seeds to play the 7 and 8 seeds. I got some thoughts on that because some of the comments were really, really bothering me based on what was said. The Pistons are being back in action. We'll get to our poll question segment about which franchise. Here's the question. Which franchise rebuilds the fastest? A lot of people believe a heavy portion of the vote is going to the Detroit Red Wings. Does that have anything to do with the fact that they just made a trade? Or do people honestly believe that the Red Wings, because of what they have in the pipeline already, like they
recency bias?
Yeah, exactly. Recency bias. Also, the Lions mock draft predicament I found myself in using Pro Football Focus's mock draft machine yesterday this is what Brad Holmes might run into. And it happened to me in the mock draft on the internet. I'm glad I'm not Brad Holmes. We want to get your thoughts on that as well. So a lot to get to here on this Thursday of X's and Bros here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Baseball players may not get style points for home runs, but baseball bettors sure do. Hey, this is Matt Shepard. New BetMGM customers can turn $1 into $100 when someone goes yard during a game. Sign up for the BetMGM app using ShepBet100, and if you place a $1 moneyline wager on the Tigers or Athletics, you'll get $100 if either team hits a homer. After the baseball has left the ballpark, there's no reason to leave your seat, though. Discover BetMGM's innovative parlay selection builders, and there's a ton for baseball. They've got daily promotions, boosted odds specials, and more. Download the app or go to BetMGM.com and use bonus code SHEPBET100 to win $100 when you bet on the Tigers or the Athletics. And if either team hits a homer, you win. Swing for the fences with BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. New customer offer, paid in free bets. Must be 21 years or older, Michigan only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
Spring has sprung, and so have the savings at Meijer. Whether you're grilling up greatness or working on your yard, get to saving some extra green with deals like Meijer Family Pack boneless, skinless chicken breasts or thighs, just $1.89 a pound. Scott's Naturescapes Triple Shred Mulch Bags, just $2 each when you buy 5 or more. Plus, enjoy free Meijer pickup on orders of $50 or more. Get started now in the Meijer app. Save a little more green this spring with seasonal savings at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See the deals in the Meijer app.
This Tuesday, 4/20, go visit the award-winning Shattered Thoughts at 6 different provisioning centers across Michigan. Shattered Thoughts will be hosting giveaways and offering discounts on their products, including an extra 25% off if you mention this ad. From handcrafted gummies to their talented team, they'll shatter your expectations. Check out Shattered Thoughts Medibles on Instagram for event information, such as product highlights and location details. If you want products that won't let you down, come support your Michigan-based premium medibles company, Shattered Thoughts.
We invite you to join the conversation on X's and Bros by dialing up the Meijer guest line. Meijer is the official sponsor of the Detroit Tigers, Red Wings, Lions, Pistons, and the Michigan Sports Network.
2 changeups away. And he sends one to left field, and that ball is fair and into the corner. Michael Brantley picks it up, but not before Renato Nunez trots home. Akil Baddoo does it again. His 11th RBI, and he does it with an RBI double here for the Tigers in the second. Amazing.
Akil Baddoo just a little over, I think, 3,800 hits away from Ty Cobb's franchise record. I think that's what I read last night. He's on his way. He's on his way. Welcome back here to X's
Ty
and
Cobb
Bros.
didn't get he didn't have 4,000 hits.
No, 38 something. I'll find the original tweet. Cody Stavenaw of the Athletic, I believe, added. Welcome back, X's and Bros here on the Michigan Sports Network. Great to have you right along with us. Dana Kalin, Ryan Elke, and Anthony Bellino all with you. Find us individually on Twitter. Dan is at Dan in the studio. Ryan is at RyanL_Key. I am at AC Bellino. Boy, it was a lot of fun last night for the Tigers in a 6-4 victory against the Houston Astros. The big question going into this one was, would the Tigers be able to complete the sweep? And that they did. A pretty solid series in a 3-game stretch against one of the better teams in Major League Baseball, although not at 100%. But hey, it's, as Dan said, via Jim Leland, it's not who you play, it's when you play them, and that was important for the Tigers, who in yesterday's victory got another, I would say, solid start. Michael Fulmer came out, gave us 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, did walk 1, struck out 2, threw 78 pitches, did give up a dinger. His ERA sits at 3. I thought, from Michael Fulmer's perspective, that performance was not bad. I didn't think that was. I mean, that's a game that he gives you
fantastic.
That you can win. You can win with that kind of outing. Although he didn't go. Our question was 6 innings yesterday? Could he go 6? He went 5. The bullpen, though, came in. Daniel Norris was not good. He lasted a third of an inning, gave up 2 hits and an earned run, walked 1. Buck Farmer came in. And how about Buck in his 2/3 of an inning? Did pretty well. Zeros across the board. So that's what you want. As for Cisnero, Soto, not very good. But Garcia at the end, to be able to strike out 2 to earn the save in his inning pitch. He only needed 19 pitches to get through that inning. The final inning, it was getting sweaty palms time. They're late in the ball game. Houston had scored a run in the 9th to make it 6-4. But Tigers offense, just attacking McCullers. And he only lasted 3 2/3. Gave up 4 hits, 6 earned runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Like, really good job sitting on his off-speed stuff and his breaking stuff. A really good job of attacking and being patient and really taking what McCullers was giving him. And this team, these wins feel a little bit different than they did last year. This is a very good series. I think this team's a little bit easier to watch because at least we have some of those big-name young guys up. I think the story of Akil Baddoo, I heard him getting mocked yesterday on the radio as I was driving around. And it wasn't so much that Akil was being mocked personally. It was that the fans were being mocked over their excitement over Akil Baddoo. And it's one of the things I've never necessarily understood. Like, there's not a whole lot to really be excited about, right? It's not as if each one of our 4 major sports teams in this state are leading the division, because that's not where they're at. They're at the bottom of their respective divisions, whether it's the AL Central or the NFC North or the Central Division in hockey or the Central Division in hoops, like whatever the case may be, like they are at the bottom of their respective divisions. So I think that when we see some bright points, when we see some progress, I think that it's okay to celebrate that. And I heard SEMO getting mocked a little bit for having the comparison, the side-by-side of Akil Baddoo to Barry Bonds. Craig Monroe is not saying that Akil Baddoo is going to become Barry Bonds. But if a guy like Craig Monroe, who played how many years in the majors, sees something and says, wait a minute, I feel like I've seen that before. Like, let's run a side-by-side on the screen. Here's what I think. Why am I going to have a problem with that? I'm not going to have an issue with that. Like, it's totally fine. Here's a guy that played at the major league level that's literally telling you, wait a minute, I see something that looks similar to something that I've seen before. Here's a side-by-side comparison. Let's go from there. Akil goes 1 for 4 with a double and his 11th RBI of the season. How about Jeimer Candelario, the Candyman? 3 for 5. A double, 2 RBI, number 6 and number 7. You can see it on your screen if you're watching on Comcast or on BCSN. And it was just like these little victories, right? Little victories, whether it's Akil Baddoo at the plate or Jeimer Candelario at the plate, whether it's something that is happening defensively or a really good bullpen performance by like a Buck Farmer, for example. Like, you could celebrate these things. I'm not saying you got to be a homer and over the top and say that this team's going to win the World Series, because that's far from the truth. But you want to have something to root for. You want to have some vested interest. I can't tell you how disinterested I've been in Tigers baseball in the last 3 years. Like, I'm not the biggest baseball fan to begin with. I think that the replay disaster that took place the other night is a good reason why. I think that if you worked in it long enough and you're
the crown jewel of the NFL also makes mistakes, Anthony. Come on now.
Which is true when it comes to comparable replay blunders. We still don't know at times what a catch is, but for me, football's more enjoyable to watch. Baseball is very slow. But I'm also somebody that watches golf. But I play golf, so I have a vested interest in it. My interest in the Tigers is very much so is, can you give me something to be interested in? And I've tried to manufacture that over the years, some interest. Like, this year I'm going to watch every game that's on a weekday. Like, I'm watching Monday through Friday. Right, because at the time I was having to pay attention to both the Tigers and the Indians because working south of the border. A little bit of a split there between the fan bases, but neither here nor there. How about the Indians, by the way, last night? My God. Perfect game thrown against them. -1 hit batter. Like, come on.
No hitter.
No hitter. But it was, if you look at the stat line, that's a perfect game. I know technically because he hit but it's 9 innings. No runs, no hits. It's beautiful. No walks.
He was dealing. I don't know if he Michael Fulmer was dealing early yesterday. He threw 3 innings and 26 pitches or something.
Yeah, I was worried about our little prop bet there. This when I got home and turned on the game. It was like, all right, 3 innings. Fulmer's got to be close to being done probably. It's like, doesn't he have 30 pitches yet?
No, he looked sharp. He was good.
Yeah, first win since June of 2018.
And it's been a while. But I think it's okay if you want to watch the Tigers and celebrate them winning that game and sweeping the series against the Houston Astros. I think that this team has more fight in them. It's nothing against Rod and Gardenhire. I just feel like this team is different this year. Correct me if I'm wrong. Share your thoughts. Text the keyword sports radio to 21,000 if you feel different, because I sure as hell do.
That feels better. And one thing about the Akil Baddoo celebration, I'll put it. It's like us fans, we're going to celebrate any, I think, little victory Detroit sports has these days.
Absolutely.
What gets me excited is that it's the national media, it's baseball fans in general are getting excited about Akil Baddoo and what he's been doing the last 2 weeks. Like, I find that more exciting and cool. Be like, okay, we're not the only ones noticing him doing this. Because I feel like that happens sometimes with Detroit athletes coming up where it's like, no, this is our guy, and we only notice him. Where Akil Baddoo, like, the baseball world knows about him already.
Oh, yeah. And people are aware. They're like, wow, that Rule 5 Minnesota let slip away. They're tweeting about his home runs. Like, this dude's on fire.
When he's on SportsCenter, 4 nights in the last 2 weeks, when Jared Carrabis of Barstool, a huge baseball fan, is tweeting about him every night. Like, to me, like, I like that. I like seeing that.
As do I. Little victories, man. I think we deserve to celebrate them as Detroit fans. They win 6-4 over the Stros. We're going to step aside. We'll be back with more X's and Bros after this here on the Michigan Sports Network. Anthony Bellino here on behalf of Twin Spires Online Sportsbook Racing and Casino. Twin Spires is now live in Michigan, and they're offering new players their best offer yet with up to $1,000 in risk-free bets. Twin Spires is backed by the same team as the Kentucky Derby and Churchill Downs Racetrack and brings over 140 years of tradition, excitement, and wagering experience. Whether you're an avid gambler or a first-timer, they've got your bets. Professional basketball and hockey are both in the second half of the season, and we just opened up professional baseball. So now is the time for new players in Michigan. Use Twin Spires and they'll give you 7 days of risk-free betting up to $1,000. You heard that right, $1,000 in one whole week to try out your luck. Basketball, baseball, hockey, golf. They've got it all, and you can do it all right from your phone. Download the Twin Spires Casino and Sportsbook app today and enter the promo code FREE1000 to participate. Void where prohibited. For terms and conditions, visit www.twinspires.com. Must be 21 years of age and older and physically present in Michigan to bet. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117.
The Meyer Guest Line on the Michigan Sports Network is open for you. Call 313-396-5527. Meyer is the official sponsor of your Detroit Tigers, Lions, Red Wings, and Pistons.
There is nothing on earth more amazing than the human brain. No computer can match its intellect. No work of art can rival its beauty. And there is nothing on earth more personal than your brain. It defines who you are. It determines how you love and what others love in you. Your brain is unlike anything we have ever known or will ever see. And in a moment, all of that can change forever. Traumatic brain injury, TBI, can happen anywhere, at any time, to anyone. TBI can define who you are. TBI can determine how you will love. There is nothing on earth more amazing than the human brain. And for victims and families of TBI, there is nowhere on earth like the Eisenhower Center in Ann Arbor.
The Eisenhower Center, leading the way in traumatic brain injury rehabilitation. Learn more at eisenhowercenter.com.
Got to get it in. Here's Luka. Gets it away. It's gone! A Doncic dagger! He wins it! Three. As he was stumbling, he somehow got it to go!
Welcome back here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Luka Doncic with a little bit of magic there last night for the Dallas Mavericks. The fun game between them and the Memphis Grizzlies. Ryan Elke, Danica Halen in the Motor City Studio, Anthony Bellino coming in from the Radio Bunker. Great to have you riding along with us, no matter who you are, where you are, or how you may be listening. We appreciate you making us a part of your day each and every weekday morning. Text the keyword Sports Radio to 21,000, Sports Radio to 21000. Meyer Supercenter guest line 313-396-5527, 313-396-5527. Of course, we're on Twitter at XB Mornings, Facebook, X's and Bros, and good morning to our television audience as well on Comcast Channel 900 and on BCSN. Find our podcast, listen back to anything you may have missed on demand by visiting our SoundCloud, Google, Apple, Spotify, and iHeartRadio app pages, plus listen online all the time, MichiganSportsNetwork.com, MichiganSportsNetwork.com. I want to get into this because it's been bothering me a little bit because it's something that I cannot seem to figure out or understand. And that is Luka Doncic had criticized the idea of the NBA's play-in tournament between the 7, 8, 9, and 10 seeds, right? Wasn't happy about it and said that it is, guy's just not happy about it. His big thing is, why would you play 72 games if then you could play all 72 and then have to play into a play-in tournament? Because you didn't do enough to make it into the regular season according to the rules that we're playing by this season. Mark Cuban went on to say, I get why the NBA is doing it. He said this via text to ESPN. But if we are going to be creative because of COVID, we should go straight up 1 through 20, let the bottom 4 play in. This is the year particularly to do it since the 10 games cut from the normal 82-game schedule were in conference. The worst part of this approach is that it doubles the stress of the compressed schedule. Rather than playing for a playoff spot and being able to rest players as the standings become clearer, teams have to approach every game as a playoff game to either get in or stay in the top 6, since the consequences, as Lucas said, are enormous. So players are playing more games and more minutes in fewer days. The NBA Board of Governors, which includes Mark Cuban, unanimously approved a proposal to implement a play-in tournament for this season after the league used it for the first time ever in the playoffs in the bubble last summer. In hindsight, this approach was an enormous mistake. Oh, wait a minute. So you guys love the play-in tournament so much that you unanimously approved it for this season. But now, because the Dallas Mavericks, who won against the Grizzlies last night with that buzzer beater that we played for you, the Grizzlies sit in the 8th spot. The Grizzlies are in 8, and the Mavericks are in 7. And the Mavericks trail the Portland Trailblazers by a game for the 6th spot in the West to stay clear of the play-in tournament, which might have them seeing perhaps the San Antonio Spurs or maybe the New Orleans Pelicans in the play-in tournament. Now it's a problem. Well, how Illinois Fighting Illini of you, Mark Cuban? How Illinois of you? If you are going to vote on something, you can't go back 4 months later and say, wait a minute, we're looking back, this is a huge mistake. It doesn't make any sense. Illinois' AD just did this. He just did this after he voted not once but twice for winning percentage to determine who would win the Big Ten championship. That's the regular season banner. He just did this. And now Mark Cuban, a part of the Board of Governors for the NBA, votes and is a part of a unanimous vote for the play-in tournament because of the bubble. Or not because of the bubble, but because of the COVID shrunken season. And coming in off of what happened in the bubble. The part that I have a serious issue with, is when Mark Cuban says, rather than playing for a playoff spot and being able to rest players as the standings become clearer, teams have to approach every game as a playoff game to either get into or stay in the top 6, since the consequences are enormous. This is where this league has a serious problem. You play, on average, 82 games every regular season, right? That's what it's supposed to be. This year, you're going to play 72 games. 72 games, okay. That's 10 less games than a normal regular season, but 82 games. I am not discounting or discrediting what it takes to play 36 minutes in an NBA basketball game. I can't even imagine. My legs hurt thinking about it. And if you're at home and you're like, these guys don't play any defense, if you're one of those guys, this ain't the conversation for you. What bothers me is you look at a guy like Kyrie Irving, who had an exchange with Dennis Schroeder and then all of a sudden takes 2 games off for personal reasons. That guy's got more PTO than anybody else in America. And he's on the schedule to work 72 nights this year, not including practice. The travel is better than ever before. The physical rehab is better than ever before. LeBron James spends over $1 million every year on his body. He puts those big bags on his legs, cryogenic therapy, massages, all this, that, and third. Bill Russell was how tall? And how did he get from
He's
game
still
to game?
alive. He's still tall.
Well, he was a lot taller when he was playing than he is now. He's 6'5" now. He just had a workout video. He's looking to join the Brooklyn Nets, I think he said, if they were looking for a 6'5" guy. But he was not 6'5" when he was playing. He shrunk. He got old. That's what happens. Old people shrink. They get smaller. Well, when he was playing, how tall was he? How tall was Wilt? What were they flying? It wasn't a private chartered jet. Trains, they were on trains and buses? Are you kidding me? With those legs? I understand getting rid of a back-to-back. I don't think that back-to-back should exist. They don't exist in football for obvious reasons.
Wow, really?
I don't think they should exist in hockey or in basketball.
Did you see that new Canucks schedule?
No, but the Canucks have a serious COVID issue, so tell me more about this Canucks schedule.
The Canucks are playing when they resume play Friday. Mm-hmm. They are playing 19 games in 31 days.
That's not even safe. That is not even safe.
With 6 back-to-backs in 31 days.
Those taxi squad guys better be ready to go. That's all I'm saying.
They don't have the taxi squad guys. I mean, they had 20-plus guys. I think 16 players tested positive. The whole team has just been sitting at home, too. It's not just the guys that tested positive. All the other guys that didn't test positive, they haven't been able to skate or practice either.
That's borderline dangerous. That's borderline dangerous. More on that. We can get more into that. The general, that's crazy. That is nuts. But I don't believe that you should have to play back-to-backs. I really don't. I just, it doesn't put the best product out there. But can you imagine Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman in the late 90s, mid-90s, are headed to the Garden to take on Patrick Ewing, Allen Houston, John Starks, Mark Jackson, and the New York Knicks. Can you imagine if you went to the Garden and bought a ticket for that game? Or tuned in from your home as you live in, I don't know, wherever you live at, South Bend, Indiana. You're watching this game. And Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen decided they were going to take the day off because they needed a rest day.
Dennis Rodman decided multiple times that he was ready for a vacation and went to Vegas.
I didn't notice I said Jordan and Pippen because
you started off Rodman with the Bulls,
but he's part of the big three there. I'll throw in like Steve Kerr or whomever else, right? I'll throw those guys in there, but I'll focus on Jordan and Pippen go to the Garden to play a game, and Pippen had his contract dispute. I'm not saying they're perfect. Pippen had his contract dispute, right? I'm not going to say that it was slow to come back from injury. Not saying they're perfect. But they're going to go to the Garden to take on the Knicks. And like Paul George and Kawhi, they're not going to play for rest. Jordan and Pippen are going to play for rest. What Mark Cuban's saying is that when you look at the standings in the West right now that are on your screen if you're watching at home, the idea that Mark Cuban's saying, well, this play-in tournament's no good because every game down the stretch is going to be a playoff game to get in that 6th spot where Portland is at. And, every game's a playoff game. That's what we want as fans. Like, we want to see the best players in the world competing. I am tired of this league and everybody taking rest days. You have days off in the schedule. Like, why are you sitting out games for rest? That's why you can't put enough, emphasis on what Chris Paul has been able to do. You can't put enough emphasis on what Damian Lillard has been able to do. Like a lot of these,
but what if it's a team decision though?
Because you sprained your ankle, because you're injured, or because you're doing the San Antonio Spurs. We're just gonna, I don't want that. I don't want that at all. I want that out of the game. I want the new CBA to state that if you are contracted for however many millions of dollars per season, and let's say it works out to, I don't know, $100,000 a game. If you miss the game, you don't get your check. Like, I want people playing. I want them playing hard.
Then
I
what
want
if
them playing with a level of care.
You're just gonna get made up injuries.
Right, and that's my point is that this league sucks when people do this. It's a personnel issue, not personal, but personnel. It's a problem with the players in the league. When's the last time this has happened in the NHL? Those guys make $800,000. They're not making $40 million. You're making $20, $30, $40 million. Get out on the court and dive into the front row. Like, I don't care. Like, at that point, I'm getting really worked up right now because this really bothers me. I hate that. Like, Kawhi Leonard, you're not the MVP. You're not. You're not the best player in the league. Period. I'm so tired of people throwing his name into that conversation like, Kawhi's better than LeBron. Kawhi doesn't play the minutes. Dude is always out. He plays half a season every year. Sorry. Like, you built this super team in L.A. with the Clippers, and you still lost to the Lakers in the bubble. Like, you still cannot win the championship. It still belongs to the team that shares the court with you. So please get Kawhi Leonard as far away from that conversation as possible. Until you run me a full 82-game season, get out of that conversation. Guys like Michael, guys like Kobe, they took pride in the fact that they were there every game. Like Kobe shooting free throws with a torn Achilles. Guys right now get pushed. They fall down. They're so soft they lay there as if they got hit by a Mack truck. It's like, did somebody shoot you with like a cantaloupe or something? Did somebody fire a potato gun from the third row that hit you in the leg? Like this idea that, it's so hard. Like, please stop. Please. The fans don't like it. We don't appreciate that at all. And I usually stick up for the league. But this whole
that's the thing,
resting players during the regular season, like if you're not actually injured, are you hurt or are you injured? And if you're not actually injured, get on the court. And if you don't want to play, then like get out of the I don't have any desire for you to be in the league. Like Kyrie Irving, I got to take days off for personal reasons. Shut up. Get on the floor.
Well, he had to work last night because in the Nets game, Durant, Harden, Blake Griffin, and LaMarcus Aldridge all took a rest day. So he had to come to work because there was literally no one else that could work.
Harden, Durant, and Kyrie Irving have played like a total of 7 games together. That's awesome if you're a Brooklyn fan.
And they're still the best team in the conference.
That's awesome if you're a Brooklyn fan. They're not the best team in the conference. The Sixers are.
They were tied last night and the Sixers won.
Good for Philly.
Except, can it not be Philly?
I don't even care. Like, what happened to Milwaukee? Can you guys please jump over to Brooklyn?
They're 40-23 or something like that.
Bucks?
Yeah.
34-20. That's great, but they should be leading the conference. Like, you have Giannis. Everybody keeps telling me Giannis is the next LeBron. He's the MVP. Get your team in first place. Like you're playing in the
where's
East.
LeBron?
You don't need to be
LeBron
Anthony.
Is injured.
They've all realized that. It doesn't. That's why Brooklyn rests guys. They don't care what place they're in. They know they're going to win at least the first series without even trying.
Maybe that's true.
So then let's just cut the playoffs to 6 teams a conference.
Boom. And I'm okay with that. My whole issue with this is that if you are slated to play X amount of games in the regular season, play the games. Play the games. Like let's not come out here and play 53 games in a season. Like let's not do that. Not if you're scheduled to play 82. Like Kyrie Irving getting personal time. And I thought it was really funny the tweet you sent, Ryan, where Kyrie Irving got called the N-word by Dennis Schroeder. Now, I'm not here to tell you what's right and what's not right. The conversation doesn't apply to me. But it's used in everyday language. And like I said, doesn't apply to me, but you took 2 games off after that for personal reasons?
Just to clarify, I did not write that tweet.
No, you just sent it to me.
No.
I did not write.
Just to cover my own bases there. It was by someone else.
Yeah,
that can use that language that I cannot.
Yes, it's allowed.
And he didn't even use the language in the tweet.
I think it literally said N-word in the tweet, like N-word in the hyphen, I should say, in the tweet. This is why, like, when people complain about the NBA, like, this is why, right here. Like, you want to rest your stars because it allegedly doesn't matter. Like, I don't know. The Utah Jazz.
Oh, okay, well, then what you are saying, you're saying that, like, Kyrie and James Harden, all these guys should play. Who's their coach?
Steve Nash.
Was Steve Nash not Mr. I'm hustle guy, and now he's I don't care, I'm going to rest my guys?
On days that Kyrie takes off, Kyrie's actually the coach before the game, and then says,
they're
you know what, we deserve a day off. I'm going to pass my responsibilities now on to Mike D'Antoni, and then he can do whatever he wants as coach of the day.
I think that this is why we as fans, we as media, need to emphasize the right things. Right. We need to put more emphasis on the right things. And that is show up to work and play the game. Because you're frankly, you're paid way too much money not to. And if I was Brooklyn's management, like with Kyrie, this is what you get with that Space Cadet, an incredibly like otherworldly sort of talent.
Yeah,
like where the planet he comes from is flat. That's the confirmed. Like he's not from this planet. What he can do with the basketball is incredible. Can you get your head screwed on straight? Well, I don't owe anybody anything. Yeah, you do. Because
not really. There's
without
no
the
one there,
fans,
though.
You don't have a league, man. But
exactly.
We're the people that are invested into this league, into this sport, into these players, both emotionally, financially, right? With our time.
It's all exactly, Anthony. We don't really have to give our time to because we can't go to games. Nobody's really going to games yet. Once there's fans in the stadiums again, yeah, maybe the Brooklyn management will say, we're paying these guys $40 million apiece. Maybe they should be playing. But when nobody's at the games and they're still winning, what do they care?
Maybe they should. Maybe they should, because I don't want to see a game in which the Brooklyn Nets are featured on national television and their stars aren't playing because they all have to rest. Everybody's tired.
Blake Griffin has dunked 4 times, so he probably does need to rest for 3 weeks.
How many times has Alexander Ovechkin sat out for rest?
I don't know. He's still on that Stanley Cup bender from 2 years ago.
Yeah. He just kept it going.
Contact sport, and he's full. But he's different. He's a different breed of human.
Yeah,
he's hard. Yeah, he's hard. That's what he is. He's tough. He's from the Soviet Union, for God's sakes. We have a bunch of powder puffs over here on Twitter. All right, stepping aside. I'm all worked up now. Hour 2 next here on X and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network.
Spring has sprung, and so have the savings of Meijer. Whether you're grilling up greatness or working on your yard, get to saving some extra green with deals like Meijer Family Pack boneless, skinless chicken breasts or thighs, just $1.89 a pound. Scott's Naturescapes Triple Shred Mulch Bags, just $2 each when you buy 5 or more. Plus, enjoy free Meijer pickup on orders of $50 or more. Get started now in the Meijer app. Save a little more green this spring with seasonal savings at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See the deals in the Meijer app.
It's a new day. A day of winning big at Soaring Eagle. And every Friday in April, it's a Jeep thing. That's right. Each week, you can win premium play prizes and bonus entries into the grand prize giveaway on April 30th for a brand new Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Rubicon. So, get in on the Jeep thing. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Your neighborhood Auto Value Auto Parts store, where service is the difference. We get it. Save this month on Philips Crystal Vision headlight bulbs, starting at just $29.99. Trico Force wiper blades start at just $14.99. And True Fuel pre-mixed 2-stroke engine fuels, just $5.49. Shop online at myautovaluestore.com and save 15% on orders of $75 or more with the coupon code SPRING15. That's Auto Value, where service is the difference. We get it.
If you or your family is touched by autism, learn more about Freddy's Foundation at #PopTheTap at FreddyThePizzaman.com. That's FREDI, thepizzaman.com, or email FreddyThePizzaman@gmail.com.
Quiet strength. It is informational and pragmatic. It is compassionate, determined, relentless, and giving. Quiet strength comes from the heart, and it also comes from the brain. Wanting to do the right thing is noble, but discovering how to do the right thing is impactful and lasting. The rehabilitation of traumatic brain injury is what we do at the Eisenhower Center in Ann Arbor. The knowledge, the expertise, the innovation, they come from the brain. Dedicating our lives to the lives of those affected by TBI is also what we do at the Eisenhower Center. The compassion, the respect, the concern, they come from the heart. Our goal is to share our quiet strength with you.
The Eisenhower Center, leading the way in traumatic brain injury rehabilitation. Learn more at eisenhowercenter.com.